units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
Fisk?
SWAT is 1084 at Fisk Tower. All units stand by. Warrant is en route.
Hello, all you beautiful people. My name's Tommy, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Podcast Assemble. Spider-Man 2 is almost upon us, and bloody damn, I can't believe it's 5 years since the original hit shelves, back in September 2018. The Insomniac developed title offered us a fresh take on everyone's favourite wall crawler, adapting an Arkham-style combat system and some of the most engrossing open-world gameplay, well, ever. Paired with the various DLC and the mid-quel Miles Morales game, it was chef's kiss. Mwah. It was, however, 5 years ago. And if you're anything like me, who can't exactly remember what he ate for breakfast yesterday, some of the finer details might have been forgotten along the way. So join us as we navigate through an arbitrary number of things to remember before web-slinging into the upcoming sequel, Spider-Man 2, with full spoilers for the first Spider-Man and Miles Morales games from here on out. But while we're whipping through the list together, why not take a moment to subscribe to Podcast Assemble? Number 1. The Webhead's first adventure thrust us into a world with a more fleshed out Peter Parker than casual fans are perhaps used to. We pick up with Peter in his early to mid-20s, slightly older than the fresh-faced, high school or even college Peter Parker that's often depicted in the comics and adaptations. Players take on the role of balancing the life of the titular hero as he must confront a new threat posed by the sinister Mr. Negative, while unraveling a larger conspiracy that puts the whole city at risk. I mean, at least we don't have to do his taxes as well, I guess. However, if you're not crazy like some of us and haven't played the game since release on more occasions than I'm fully comfortable disclosing, you may have missed the mini controversy around Peter's shape-shifting character model. Somewhere between the time of the remastered game's release, Peter was outed as a Skrull, with his character model getting an upgrade to more closely align to a younger version of the character. I'm not sure how, but they seem to have somehow smushed all of the live-action Spider-Man faces together. Just look, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, this doesn't really have a bearing on the gameplay or the epic story, but if you're checking in for the first time since 2018, then it could be a little disconcerting.
Who are you? Where's Commissioner Gordon?
Number 2. The first stinger of the 2018 game introduced Peter to a new ally in his web-slinging vigilantism. His in-game protege, Miles Morales, who had gained Spidey powers of his own. Now, if you're a comics fan, Miles' spidery turn is nothing new. He was created by Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. Miles Morales was introduced into the Ultimates universe and brought a fresh perspective to the Spider-Man mythos. As an Afro-Latino Spider-Man, his inclusion became a symbol of positive representation for underrepresented communities in the medium. And goddamn, he's cool.
Hey.
The evolution of their relationship will likely be key to the direction of the plot, with both characters having lost parental figures. The sequel offers an opportunity for some incredibly unique storytelling around the effects of grief and friendship. We're excited to see where this one goes.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Number 3. Introduced in the Miles Morales helmed mid-quel is Genki Lee, a character developed by Insomniac for the series. Genki is Miles' best friend and plays a significant role in the game's storyline. He's tech-savvy, he's supportive, and enthusiastic, quickly establishing himself as Miles' man in the chair. Genki is instrumental in helping Miles develop his own superhero skills, creating gadgets, and navigating the challenges of adolescence. I mean, being a superhero in New York. More than being just comic relief, Genki's tech skills could provide both Spider-Men an outlet to focus solely on being super. Let's just hope he doesn't start to feel upstaged by his best friend. Number 4. One thing Spider-Man 2018 got very right was the traversal and web swinging through the open world. New York City has never looked so good in a game. The 2018 game adapted something of an Assassin's Creed style map opening feature where new areas of the city were unlocked by fixing various police station radio towers. These traversal mechanics were tightened up in the Miles Morales follow-up, resulting in the player feeling like a true Spider-Man thwipping through New York City. Simply swinging around the epic cityscape can at times be the most fun thing to do in the game. One thing I would personally love to see, however, in the follow-up, is there being some sort of fall damage, or at least some sort of jeopardy if you don't react when you're falling. Allowing for perfect landings was a great way to ease us in, but now it's time to take the stabilizers off. Imagine jumping off the Empire State Building and not reacting in time. Perhaps Pancake Spider-Man could be a whole new unlockable? Now, with the sequel, the world is reportedly roughly twice the size of the first outings, with an additional mechanic of being able to instantaneously switch between Spider-Men. We think this offers plenty of scope to expand on the already stellar navigation. Number 5. As I alluded to, the climax of Spider-Man 2018 saw Peter's remaining parental figure make the ultimate sacrifice. In the game, Aunt May was a strong, independent character of her own. As the owner and proprietor of Feast Shelter, she dedicated her life to helping those less fortunate than herself. After the release of the Devil's Breath plague by the new villain Mr. Negative, her own arc came to an end at the hands of the illness. May's death is a hugely poignant moment, and its potential ramifications for Peter's mental health have yet to be fully explored in the game. In the sequel, we are going to be introduced to a version of the Venom symbiote. Let's just hope they do a better job than some of the prior incarnations. Now, classically, the Venom symbiote has a number of effects on its host, including the ability to subtly alter the hero's personality, making them more aggressive or ruthless, and sometimes cause them to adapt a darker persona. Let's just hope Peter has a good psychotherapist to help him deal with any unresolved trauma over May's death. Number 6. Speaking of tragically losing fictional loved ones, Spider-Man's seminal video game adaptation also included one of the canon moments in the young life of Miles. The loss of his father and police officer, Jefferson Davis. I promise Spider-Man isn't all depression. Mr. Negative, or Martin Lee, played a duplicitous role throughout the game, being the founder of Feast in his day-to-day, but being a criminal mob boss in his downtime. Where on earth does he find the time? The character ultimately ended up playing second fiddle to the slow demise of the primary antagonist of the game, Doc Ock. However, his role in the deaths of Jefferson over a grudge with Norman Osborn will no doubt have a lasting impression on Miles. With Martin Lee expected to return in one form or another, perhaps there'll be a side mission to pick up some calming incense or a yoga retreat, so our Spider-Men don't completely lose it.
Your boy. Musa. 21,000.
Number 7. In the first game, we are treated to, quite possibly, the best on-screen adaptation of a version of the Sinister Six. The team were galvanized by Doc Ock after breaking out of the raft to terrorize Peter, almost defeating him in the process. Included were the likes of Scorpion, Vulture, Electro as main bosses, while also featured were the likes of Taskmaster, Tombstone, and Shocker, to name a few. The follow-up Miles Morales reminded us of the threat of these villains pose. Having Rhino breaking out of his shipping container taking him to the raft in the first act, and once again almost dispatching of the original Webhead, setting up Miles' journey. The world is full of spectacular villains, showing off why Spider-Man is renowned as having one of the best rogues galleries. And there are so many more which have not yet been explored. The sequel has already teased Kraven the Hunter. No, not you, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Along with number 8, Venom. One of the biggest admissions from the original game was Peter's best friend and confidant, Harry Osborn. His absence on a suspiciously long vacation certainly did not go unnoticed, with a number of side missions and voice messages leaving a trail of breadcrumbs, which left players feeling there was something more about his absence than we were being told. We did eventually discover that Harry had been suffering from the same mystery illness which brought about the death of his mother. However, gamers were rewarded for sticking around through the credits for a second post-game stinger, where we find his father in a morose state in a lab.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
And keeping his barely holding on son alive using a form of this world's Venom symbiote. Now, it's unclear at this stage how the symbiote ties into the broader narrative, with many questions unanswered, such as whether it will be of alien origin like in the comics, or even who will be under the Venom mask. We do know, however, that Venom is coming in the sequel, and Insomniac have confirmed that it will not be Eddie Brock in this iteration. Though, when were makers of superhero properties ever fully honest with us?
No, I'm not.
Number 9. Spider-Man 2 already looks chock full of new and old villains for our hero to deal with. Though in the 2018 game, there were more than a few sneaky hints that we might be getting one of this world's most iconic bad guys. In one of the less than thrilling Mary Jane stealth missions, we break into Norman Osborn's penthouse and discover a number of telling hints about the character's most likely trajectory. In the penthouse, we not only find Norman's research into the GR27 serum, which played a crucial role in the creation of Mr. Negative, but we also find other noteworthy items, such as a suspicious-looking grenade tech, along with a technologically advanced armored suit, all likely foreshadowing Osborn's transformation into the Green Goblin. But do you think we'll be getting the fan favourite Spidey antagonist in the sequel? Number 10. One of the big plot points of Spider-Man 2018 was the Sinister Six working together as a team and coming together to almost take down Peter Parker's Spider-Man, with the wall crawler almost being killed in the process. When this was coupled with the fact that Rhino almost finishes the Friendly Neighborhood Spider at the beginning of the Miles Morales extension, we're not only seeing brilliant stakes included in the narrative, but also a world where Spider-Man is not infallible. Considering Insomniac have proven that they are not afraid to make this world their own, along with Miles' arc solidifying him as his own Spider-Man, we get the feeling that there may be some unexpected plot twists yet to play out in the Insomniac Spider-Man universe. Could this be the end of Peter's story? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And finally, a bonus entry. If you're one of the more casual gamers among us, you may not be aware that Insomniac are also working on another Marvel Heroes solo video game adaptation. The developer have been hard at work creating a Wolverine video game, which looks frickin' sick, by the way. Call me nuts, but could we possibly get a tease in the video game of everyone's favourite mutant? Or even a post-credits stinger tying the worlds together Avengers style? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, feel free to drop us a like, share and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Linked below is also our website, www.podcastassemble.com, where you can find our regular podcast and so much more. Why not join us for more geek content? Thanks for popping by, guys. Tally ho!